Hello everyone, welcome back. I am super excited for today's video for two reasons. This month bullet journal is digital. To be honest, I started the design in my journal, however, I didn't like the result of the first page. I tried to fix it, but I made it worse and I didn't have the time to start all over again. That is why I made it on my iPad. Actually, I really like the process, probably because I am so familiar with digital illustration and I felt I was in my element. Also, the theme of today's video is inspired by a very special place, but I will tell you a little bit more in a while. For all the setups, I did 2 pages in the same time. Before I start with coloring each illustration, I did very quick sketches. My sketches are usually very messy, especially when I draw digitally. They help me a lot with the composition and the placement of my characters or the items. Depends on what I'm illustrating. For the first page, I did a scenery of a forest and a bear. I tried to make depth using different colors and contrasts. When I draw digitally, I like to add shadows and a light at the end, along with some details that add character to the illustration. While I'm illustrating this setup, I want to share a little bit more about the inspiration and the place that I visited not long ago. The place is called Belitza Dancing Bears Park, and a little backstory. Very long ago, I want to say in the 90s, in Bulgaria, there were these people who used bears for entertainment, which it's really sad. And I remember vividly these people who played these Bulgarian instruments and they made the bear dancing or making tricks actually, which is very sad to see such a huge wild animal doing this thing for entertainment. And it's so crazy. And I've seen monkeys as well. The great thing is that the French Association Brigitte Bardot, along with Four Paws organization, they forbid this act and there are no more dancing bears, and they're now in this huge park. They live in enclosures, but they live very close to their natural habitat. This is not only place for dancing bears now, but also for bears in need who lived in poor conditions. There was one bear from Albania or Macedonia, I don't remember exactly, but this bear lived in a private house, which it's crazy to me. How? Why? But now they live very happily in these huge enclosures in the forest. If you're around this area, I highly recommend going there, but not in the winter because they are sleeping. And the overall feel and vibe of the place is very similar to Jurassic Park, except that there are no dinosaurs to escape from the enclosures and eat you. Instead, there are cute bears. And before I show you the final 2 pages, I want to share a very quick tip in Procreate. If you have an illustration that you really like the color scheme of, you can easily make a color palette out of it in Procreate. You simply have to save the illustration as a file, go to the palette section and click the little plus sign in the top right corner, and Procreate will automatically collect all the colors that you used in. I want to mention that if you don't own a tablet or you don't draw digitally, you can always recreate these looks in just pencils or paints. The last couple of weeks, I used Notion to track my daily to-do tasks, and I want to implement that in my bullet journal. That is why the next 2 pages are a giant monthly to-do list. The illustration is just on top of the pages and is a little illustration of the forest with yellow background. next two pages are shaped as an arc. Again, I did illustration of the forest and the white space is the arc. And this time, to change things up, I did a few leaves, a few orange leaves, which I think added a pop of color. Also, I broke the border with them, which makes it a little bit more interesting, I think. These two pages are going to be my content and a playlist. This is the first time that I make such setup. I have the urge to look for new music and new singers, and I think this is a great way to track them and write them down. Plus, it was super fun to do this setup. I made little play buttons. This is not my video if Mao, my cat, does not appear in it. The second day that I was filming this video was very windy and the wind was blowing the leaves, and she found it so fascinating. Also, she was playing a lot with the case of my Apple Pencil and she was helping with the illustrations. I don't know about you, but I have huge difficulty planning the meals of the week or the month. I want to have a space where I can write down ideas and keep track of what we have to buy. I divided the two pages in 6 columns where I wrote breakfast, lunch, dinner, salad, soups and treats. In terms of the illustration, it is very simple again, but I added the bear on the right and I think it turned out very adorable, and this is my favorite page. And the last page. All of these designs will be in my Etsy shop if you want to purchase and print them. Please check my Instagram page for more illustrations. And oh, I almost forgot. You probably have seen that there were a few blurred parts in the intro, and these are for the next videos, a little secret for now, but I hope you liked this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.